Okay, we're beginning the first sugya. Well, it's actually the third sugya, but the first sugya for the test on Daf Nun Vav Amud Aleph, line 41. Line 41. Okay, so the Gemara is discussing the Mishnah and explaining what's going on in the Mishnah. Nefretza balilah, if the fence broke at night, oy shepartzu halistim, or if bandits broke the fence. So the question of the Gemara is going to be, what exactly is the damage that what's the damage that caused the animal to get out that would make the owner of the animal potter? What exactly happened? End of line 41. Rabba said, it's talking about a case where the animal dug under the fence, causing the fence to fall down. That's what happened over here. Avol, now this implies this implies that if it didn't dig and the fence just fell down, what's the halacha? Chayev. It'll be chayev. So since Rabba says you're potter in the case where it dug, therefore if it didn't dig, obviously he holds it chayev. We have to analyze this. Heichi dami, what exactly is this case? Ilema, if you're going to say koisel bari, the case is where it's a koisel bari, it's a strong fence. When we say strong, we mean that it's capable of standing up to a regular wind, which is shemira pechusa. Kilai chasra my chayev. Since he put it into an appropriate guarding, an appropriate fence, if it didn't dig out, why should he be chayev? He did his responsibility of shemira pechusa. What else could he have done? He did exactly what he was supposed to do. They must be talking about a weak fence. A fence would have fallen down anyway. So now the Gemara asks, hang on. Ki chasra, my potter. Why would he then be potter if it did dig out? He put it into a case which was not even shemira pechusa. He put it into a bad shemira. So the Gemara says, Techilas of Pshia, it's because it's a case of where it began with Pashia, began with negligence. He put it into a fence that was no good. But it's not the fence that messed it up, it was the hole under the fence that messed up the fence. Now this is from a Gemara Bava Metzia, where someone was watching someone else's money, put it into the granary which is flammable, but it got stolen. And in the Gemara then, Bava Metzia, it's a machlokes about whether the shomer is chayav or potter. So then when we say Gemara Bava Metzia, that's what we're talking about, the case of the granary. So now the Gemara says, on line 46, yeah, good, you want to say Tchilas of Mashiach v'Sofer b'Aynes? Fantastic, it works out really well with the opinion who says that it's potter for Tchilas of Mashiach v'Sofer b'Aynes. Very good. But hang on a second. What about the one who says that Tchilas Mashiach v'Sofer b'Aynes in Bava Metzia says chayev? What are you going to say on that one? We don't have consistency. Not everyone agrees on this. So we're now going to throw away our whole logic here. We're throwing away what? We assumed our Havamina here is that Rabba was talking about the case of Nifretza balilah. So now the Gemara is going to say, no, that's not what Rabbi was talking about when he started talking about digging. Look again. Line number 47. Rather, Masnisa b'koisel bari. Our Mishnah of Nifretza balilah is talking about a koisel bari, a complete fence, a good fence. And you potter even if it didn't dig out. Because you put it into shmir pechusa. What about Rabbah? Line 48. Now, what about what Rabbah said? Aseifa itma. He was talking about a later case in the Mishnah. Which case is that? If he put it into, if he left it in the sun, if he gave it to a mute, an insane person or a child, the yatzis of Ezekiel, line 49, and then it got and did damage. Chayev. The owner of the animal is chayev. Why? Because he put it in an irresponsible way. He put it in the sun where the animal is going to get too hot. Or he gave it to someone who's not responsible. Amar Rabbah. So Rabbah said, Va'afilu chasra. Even if it dug out, he's still chayev. Even if it did something that was weird. The animal did something weird. But in the case of Hanicha B'chama, he's still going to be chayiv. The owner's going to be chayiv. So now, the Gemara analyzes. Line 50. It's obvious that when the animal did dig out, and the animal knocks the fence down, bam! Obviously, the owner is going to be chayiv. Why? Because it's a case of pashir, and the animal did something directly as a result of that pashir. Ella, line 50 end of the line. Ella, rather, afilu chasra, even if it did dig out, nami, he's also going to be chayiv. Why? Because what would you have thought? You might think that in the case of tchilas of pashia, he put it in the hot sun, that's pashia, that's negligence. But the actual damage was an accident because it dug, which is not a normal behavior for an animal. So Kamash Malon. So the Mishnah comes, so Rabba's coming to teach us at the end of line 51. The Kula Pashia, it's complete Pashia. Even though the animal did something unusual, it's still Pashia. Why? My time. Or what's the reason? Line 52. Damale, because we could say to him, Meido Yadas, the Chivin, the Shavakta Bachama. You should have known that since you put it in the hot sun, in the middle of the summer in Florida, called Tatzedakah the Islam Me'avid, anything that it can do, any plan, anything that it can do to get out, Avdav and Nafka, it's going to do, and it's going to try and get out, because you put it in a situation where it's desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures. So Rabbah's saying that you are chayiv even if it dug out, but that's talking about the case of Hanicha B'chama.